Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning for another news update for Saturday, November 22, 2025. And I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, man fatally shot during police confrontation in St. Thomas. A man was fatally shot during an alleged confrontation with the police early Friday morning in the Gutterhead district of St. Thomas. The deceased has been identified as Christopher Duffus. According to police reports, the incident occurred at approximately 4:40 a.m. during an operation in the area. During the confrontation, officers say they recovered one black and silver Smith & Wesson pistol loaded with 5.9mm rounds from the scene. The matter has been reported to the Inspectorate and the Professional Standards Oversight Bureau, as well as the Independent Commission of Investigations. Andrew French Wright gets more than 10 years for in-sports fraud. Andrew Wright, one of 3 men found guilty of defrauding the Institute of Sports of hundreds of millions of dollars, has been sentenced to 10 years and 7 months in prison at hard labor. Wright was sentenced at the Supreme Court on Friday after a guilty verdict was handed down to him and his co-accused O'Neill Hope and Rudolph Barnes on September 30. The men were charged following an investigation dating back to 2017, which found $222 million to have been defrauded from the government agency. Man arrested after loaded gun seized at home in Mavis Bank. A man was arrested by the police and a loaded gun seized at his home in Mavis Bank, St. Andrew, on Friday morning. The police report that about 10 a.m., members of the St. Andrew North Police Division conducted a search of the man's premises and they found a Taurus 9mm pistol with a magazine affixed containing 2 9mm rounds in his room. He was arrested and taken to the Mavis Bank police station pending further investigation. The seizure brings to 55 the number of illegal firearms recovered by the division so far this year. Data show that 35 firearms and 358 assorted rounds of ammunition were seized in 2024 compared to 55 firearms and 460 ammunition in 2025. Families dispute official accounts as cops report the 2 alleged gunmen perished on Friday. Marley Acres in Old Harbour and Gutterhead in Yalas are the latest communities where families are refuting claims that their loved ones died while in confrontations with the security forces after they were shot dead on Friday. In St. Thomas, the deceased has been identified as Christopher Duffus, who police say was wanted for serious crimes in the Eastern Kingston Police Division. A relative told the news that the police killed him in cold blood. Them never did have to kill him. There was no shootout. Them do it in front of him woman. The relative who requested anonymity claimed. Reports are that a counter-terrorism and organized crime special operations team acting on information went to premises where Duffus was visiting his common-law spouse. The police cleared the 2-story structure from the bottom floor upwards. Upon reaching the room where the now deceased was located, the officers identified themselves as the police while knocking on the door. The door was opened and immediately closed, after which shots were fired through the door at the police. A source close to the investigation relayed to the news team, adding that the police took evasive action and returned the fire. Further reports are that when the shooting subsided, the police entered the room where the victim allegedly clutched a firearm while suffering from gunshot wounds. He was transported in a police service vehicle to the Kingston Public Hospital where he was pronounced dead. The police say a black and silver Smith & Wesson 9mm pistol with 1 magazine was seized. In St. Catherine, Damar Lee was also fatally shot early Friday morning. His family said they are shocked because he is not on any wanted list to be targeted by police. Them kill him in front of him 2 sons, a relative said. The Independent Commission of Investigations is probing both incidents. According to police fatality information monitored by the news, 11 people have been killed by the security forces since last Saturday. As of November 21, there have been 275 police fatal shootings since the start of the year. The month of November alone registered 21. New operations outlined for courts in St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland amid Melissa. The public is being advised that changes have been made to court operations in St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland due to the impact of Hurricane Melissa. Effective Monday, November 24, the St. Elizabeth Parish Court office has been temporarily relocated to the Parish Court at Santa Cruz. Members of the public seeking administrative support, including the filing of documents, inquiries, or general assistance, should now conduct business at this temporary site. All St. Elizabeth Parish Court sittings will now take place at the courthouses in Balaclava and the Santa Cruz until further notice. Court users with matters originally scheduled between Friday, October 24 and Friday, November 21, 2025 are advised to visit the new locations to obtain updated dates. All court users are encouraged to review their notices carefully to ensure they attend at the correct venue. Further, children's court sittings have also been relocated and will convene at the Restorative Justice Center in Santa Cruz on Monday, November 24. In addition, the St. Elizabeth Circuit Court will begin its upcoming session at the Parish Court in Balaclava on Monday, November 24. Over in Westmoreland, all civil and criminal matters previously scheduled for Savannah Lamar or Withorn during December 2025 will now take place at the Withorn Outstation on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Matters originally set for Wednesdays or Fridays will be accommodated on the preceding Tuesday or Thursday. Court sittings in Westmoreland will resume on Monday, December 1, 2025 at the Withorn Outstation. The Westmoreland Parish Court office, located at 96 Great George Street, Savannah Lamar, will reopen on Monday, November 24, 2025 with adjusted operating hours of 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Access will be via the Rose Street entrance. The office will support the public with rescheduling and matter status inquiries during these adjusted hours. Court users with matters scheduled between October 24 and November 28, 2025, or those who were unable to attend during that period are encouraged to visit the court office for assistance. The judiciary is assuring the public that every effort is being made to maintain consistent, reliable access to justice services across all affected parishes. Further updates will be provided as operational changes evolve. Court revokes a bail of St. Catherine taxi operator charged for allegedly stealing telecom cables. St. Catherine taxi operator Dwayne Jones, who is charged for allegedly being in possession of cables and wires belonging to a telecommunication company, had his bail revoked in the parish court on Friday and was taken back into custody. Jones was originally charged with unlawful possession of property, but it was upgraded to larceny following a statement received by the police from Flo, Jamaica. The police investigator in the case informed the court that Jones is a repeat offender. It was disclosed that Jones has 3 previous convictions for similar offenses and that he is currently before the parish court in the corporate area on a similar charge. The investigator also told the court that the accused attempted to bribe the police when he was arrested in this matter. Acting Senior Parish Court Judge Janelle Nelson Gale questioned why Jones was not charged in relation to that. A lawyer tried to intervene on Jones's behalf. The judge stated that even though Jones has turned up for court after being granted bail, he is no longer a fit candidate for bail in light of the revelation of his status. As a result, she revoked his bail. The case is to go back to court on November 25. Allegations are that about 2:35 a.m. on August 18, 2025, the police, acting on intelligence, went to a section of Linstead St. Catherine where a car with its ignition on was found. The car was searched and a quantity of cables and wires was found in the trunk. Jones was held and subsequently charged. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.